Hi everyone, welcome back to Ed Paris TV. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to develop functional muscle. So it's more about training the white fibers. So the approach to training white fibers is different than how bodybuilders would go about it, because they also are interested in developing the red fibers to get as much mass and size and definition as possible. And while we don't want to completely neglect the red fibers, we want to emphasize the white fibers more because, like I said in the previous video, they're more intertwined with the nervous system. And the nervous system will then send those muscles the commands, and the action, the function is going to be more efficient and faster. So the way to really hit them is to overwhelm them with really heavy weight and not a lot of volume, not a lot of quantity of work. So you want to get those workouts in a brief period of time, 45 minutes or less, so that the testosterone levels don't drop. And unless you're on performance enhancers, like a lot of bodybuilders that are at a very high level, you can't really go beyond 45 minutes to an hour tops, because then your testosterone levels will drop. So keeping them brief, not doing a lot of sets for each exercise, one or two working sets after a warm-up for each exercise, 2 to 3, 4 maybe exercises per body part will be enough. So hitting them really hard and reaching failure at the very end is very important, because that's what's going to trigger those fibers to grow. So during the rest periods, that's when they're going to be growing, the growth hormones will be released, and then whatever you eat is going to feed those fibers and make them multiply, and then you'll have denser muscle tissue, because the white fibers are denser, they're more like tendons. So when you feel them, they're a lot harder, whereas the red fibers tend to be more filled with blood and are more bubbly. So white fibers are going to give you more of an angular look, whereas the red fibers would give you more of a rounded, bubbly look. And while the rounded, bubbly look might look impressive, it kind of gets in the way of your function. So one thing you don't want to do is try to mix the function with the weight training. I've even seen a trainer one time who plays hockey trying to imitate the motion of swinging a hockey stick with putting a pole that had an attachment for the pulley system, and he was mimicking the motion of swinging the hockey stick. And unfortunately, that's gonna probably ruin his technique. I didn't say anything because he didn't want to hear it, and I'm not gonna just start chiming in on everything I see people doing that is not logical. But if you want to get better at your function, you just need to practice that function. For martial artists, you don't want to be standing there with dumbbells in your hands and throwing punches. That's going to ruin your technique, because when you throw a punch, there's no vertical up and down tension. It's just forward energy. So just drill the punches. There's so many ways to drill them. How your hands are placed. Are you telegraphing them? Is it relaxed until the moment of explosion? There's just so many things to focus on, and you got to get those numbers up so that you can wire that technique into your nervous system. And that has nothing to do with the weight training. The weight training is to make the muscles that are involved in that function stronger. So pick the best exercises that will increase the strength of that muscle. That's the way to go. And I'm going to demonstrate now using leg extension how you can really target those white fibers, and we'll talk more about this also later. All right. So now I'm going to do the leg extensions with the entire weight stack to overwhelm the white fibers. So as you can see here, it's the entire stack. And you can't sacrifice form. Up and let it down real slow. No momentum. Breathe out. Up. Let it down slow. Up. Let it down slow. So that's how you overwhelm the white fibers and develop them, which are more intertwined with the nervous system. Alright, so that'll be all for Ed Paris TV. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.